Welcome to Dr. Kush's Exotic Drinks. I'm, of course, Dr. Kush, along with my barback Kyle. I'm not a real doctor, but I did spend almost 2 decades running some of LA's best bars. After years of teaching classes and training bartenders, I want to demystify the cocktail world for you. Let's try a few new things as I open up my bar to everybody. Belly up, chat, and let's have a drink. Shocked that you guys are standing there. Welcome, everybody, to Dr. Kush's Exotic Drinks. I am, of course, no look, no light. There we go. I'm, of course, Dr. Kush, here on this Thursday doing what I promised you we would do on this Thursday, which is make one of my very favorite cocktails. I discovered this in a Drinker or Stinker that we did a while ago, and it turns out I freaking love this thing. So that's what we're going to be doing. I'm going to be explaining a little bit of how this cocktail may or may not have come to be. And then we're going to make the drink. There's a whole structure to the show. You guys don't have to worry too much about this. There is one little point of order. I do see that you guys are chatting, but I don't see it in the right program. So I will not be able to put your little comments up right down here. I can't. This whole part of the screen, for some reason, it's broken today. So know that I can see you, but it's this Restream program that I do pay for. The bar does pay for this Restream program. That it doesn't work, troubling to say the least. Anyway, that's what we're doing today. We're making a cocktail called the Ankle Breaker. It is for those of you who just went out and bought a bottle of 151 proof rum. Whatever kind of 151 you got, it'll work in this guy. It calls for a specific type, but I won't be using that specific type either. So don't worry about it. Let's say hello to the people. Again, I cannot put you guys on screen for some reason. I don't like it, and it doesn't make me happy. But I can read some of the comments through a different app. Let me say hello to Shawnee Panabaker. Clearly, he forgot to set the time on his new watch. He was concerned that it was June. Sean, you're here now, I think. Maybe I don't see you. Oh, there's Sean. Yes, Sean is here. Guys, don't worry about it. We got Tiki Tom hanging out. Good evening to Sean. He wishes. Let's say hello to Amy Beer. Hello to you. We found out that Amy from Phoenix, Arizona. I'm from Phoenix, Arizona. Look at us being Phoenicians. Kind of a weird thing to call people. Phoenician. Anyway, that's what we are. We are Phoenicians that have been transplanted. That's the way to go. DC Debbie Clark is here and also is the winner of the 2023 Kush-Tucky Derby. Good to see you there and here, DC Debbie Clark. Let's see. We have Shawnee Panabaker. Like I said, he showed up early and did hang out here as well. Howdy, y'all. It's Friday Eve. It's Friday Eve, says Dougie G. That is correct. It is Friday Eve. That is great. That is a good way to call Thursday. Thursday has that, it's an ugly tone. Thursday. Ugh. Friday Eve. Way better. I do see that at least one of the husbands is here. I don't know if we got both. Oh, yes, we have both of them. Steph and Michael are both here. Fret not. We have Kyle Tender with a woohoo. We got Paul. Wow, 151. Paul loves the 151, I assume. Paul just likes a little extra boozy. So 151 is a great way to get a little extra booze into you. If you need vitamin alcohol, 151 is a great way to do it. And that is that. Okay. Dang. It is such a bummer that I won't be able to put you. I like when the things go whoosh and then they whoosh out. Makes me happy.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay. Let's get into this cocktail. This cocktail is called the Ankle Breaker. This cocktail was created for a guy whose name was Francis Marion. Francis Marion, for those of you who don't know, has a much, much better name. You can call him Francis Marion if you want. If you're okay with the name Francis Marion, call him Francis Marion. But I think he would prefer his nickname, which was the Swamp Fox. This is the Swamp Fox. Now, a couple cool things about the Swamp Fox. First of all, he was in the Revolutionary War. He fought for America. We like that. While he's fighting for America, he didn't do great stuff, but he fought for America. He is the creator, basically one of the first people ever to do guerrilla warfare. Good for us. You want the guerrillas on your side. You don't want to be fighting the guerrillas. You want the guerrillas on your side. So that's good for us, for the United States. Created this stuff. And I think this is most important, Leslie Nielsen played him in a Disney miniseries. That, I think, is the coolest thing about it. We're talking Leslie Nielsen, not the airplane Leslie Nielsen, not the Naked Gun series Leslie Nielsen, not that Leslie Nielsen, serious actor Leslie Nielsen, black hair Leslie Nielsen. Leslie freaking Nielsen played the Swamp Fox. Listen, that's an honor. That's a great dude, that Leslie Nielsen. Anyway, Leslie Nielsen and the Swamp Fox had a theme song that went right along with the Swamp Fox. This mini series that Leslie Nielsen played, the Swamp Fox, had a theme song, and it's awesome. And when I cut this up, I will put it in there. I couldn't put it up in here right now, but when I cut it up, I will put it in here, and it'll go something like this, and then I'll come back and I'll go, wasn't that great? I mean, I have editor brain. Anyway, why do I bring up Francis Marion at all? Why do I even talk about this dude? The cocktail's called the Ankle Breaker. It doesn't matter whether he's a swamp fox or whether he is a sky dog or whether he is some sort of mountain ferret. It doesn't matter what he was as far as this cocktail goes, because Francis Marion had this cocktail named after him, not just himself, but after an action that he took at a place called the Swamp Fox Room in the Francis Marion Hotel in South Carolina. Apparently, during the Revolutionary War, Francis, the Swamp Fox, walked into a room where there was a big old party going on. Now, let me paint the picture. This room is on the second floor. He saw that everybody was just drinking and having a great time. Just a huge party. People were drinking a cocktail that had some overproof rum, some cherry liquor. It had some cherry brandy. It had some lemon juice and a little bit of sweetener. And you know what he did? He did not drink it. In fact, he so did not want to drink it that he jumped out of the window. He said, I cannot be drunk tonight, guys. I have to stay sober. And as I am the Swamp Fox, I know you guys are going to want to get me wasted. I can't do it tonight. And instead of just leaving out that door, I'm going out the window. What happens when you jump out of a two-story window? Well, a lot of things can happen. First of all, you can slice your face up pretty badly. No idea whether he did that. But a big thing is you can really hurt your legs. It turns out, as the story goes, broke his ankle. So Francis Marion, the Swamp Fox, saw people were enjoying a cocktail very similar to the one we're about to make, jumped out of a window so he didn't have to drink it, broke his ankles, and thus we have one of the great cocktails that uses 151, and let me say, one of the great cocktails of all time, the Ankle Breaker. That is how we get the Ankle Breaker. So now that we've put this sort of in its historical place, let's put it into our historical face. Let us make this cocktail. We are going to make this cocktail in equal parts for the most part. We're adding a half an ounce of some simple syrup in a second, but for the most part, the big three ingredients in this are all in equal parts, and we are going to reach back here and grab the first equal part to this. This is Lemon Heart 151. Lemon Heart 151. It is a 151 proof rum. It is 75.5% alcohol. It seems To me, and maybe not to everybody, to me, it seems like 151 is kind of a new thing, like a thing that rums are now doing, like a trend that they're doing. In fact, the 151 would have been much closer to the rum that they would have had back in the Swamp Fox's day than what we would have today. We'd have sort of high proof, big, fat, thick, alcohol-y rums, and this would be pretty similar. So you can't catch me on that yet. That isn't a. I'm not breaking the historical correctness. This is not a anachronism. Remember that word. This is not an anachronism. They would have had 151 proof rum. So let's go ahead and put in 1 ounce of some dark 151 rum. He's a swamp fox. I'm a sly fox. Slyly throw just a little bit more rum in there. Okay. Next ingredient is an underutilized ingredient, in my opinion. There are some great cocktails that have this. One of my very favorites that uses this ingredient is one called the Blood and Sand, but really all it is a cherry brandy. It's an age, or I don't even know if it's aged. It's just a different way to make cherry brandy. It is cherry brandy. You can get this stuff. This right here is called Cherry Hearing. It is made by the Peter Hearing Company. They also make a coffee hearing, which tastes like coffee. Cherry Hearing tastes like cherries. And then they have a Peter Hearing, which I think tastes like their founder, Peter. Anyway, we are going to go ahead and grab this guy. Now, really, in the end, it also seems like maybe they wouldn't have had access to Cherry Alaska. Why would they have Cherry Alaska? Why would they have Cherry Hearing just sort of lying around at the time of the Revolutionary frickin' War? It's just cherry brandy. And they would have made brandy out of literally anything. If they could get away with it, they would have made brandy out of horses, out of horse dung, probably. These dudes just wanted to drink. So instead of making it out of horse poo, the brandy, they just made it out of cherries. Very, very simple to make some cherry brandy at that time. So again, not an anachronism, and we are still plugging along. This absolutely could have shown up at this big party where Francis jumped right out of a window. Go ahead and put in 1 ounce of some cherry brandy, something like a Cherry Hearing or a Cherry Alaska. Cherry Hearing, Cherry Alaska by Luxardo they certainly have a different taste. No doubt about it. There is a difference in the two. So find your favorite. Cherry Alaska is cheaper on the whole than Cherry Hearing is. So sort of figure out what you like best. If you like Cherry Alaska best, you are in luck because it's the cheaper one. Right here. Let's throw in a little bit of some lemon. We got a lemon. We made it dizzy. And now we can cut it up. We're going to go ahead and just give this a nice roll. When we're rolling our fruits, all we're doing is breaking up all the little capillaries inside there, making the juice sort of already start to squeeze out. That way we just get the problem, let me just tell you, a little problem with experiment. Let me talk to you while I wave a knife around. So I think everybody loves that. The problem with doing any kind of experiments on citrus fruit like that, like let's say, let's roll this one and then let's not roll the next one to see which one gives us the most juice, is of course, every lime and lemon has a different amount of juice in it to begin with. So there is no control. So it may be that this is really just like a thing that we do. Who knows? But we're going to cut this guy in half. Oop, hold on. And we're going to get I guess we use our ice ball maker, our ice shell maker. Gotta say that, otherwise my editor gets upset with me. This is just an orange squeezer. We're going to squeeze out 1 ounce of some lemon juice. So close. So close, but not quite there. There we go. I'm gonna go right up to the top there. Oh, everybody, hold on. And then we're gonna throw in 1 ounce of some lemon juice. Doing great. More or less, this is the cocktail. You can drink this cocktail like this if you want. But because we have put so much so many big flavors. I mean, let's be honest. The cherry hearing, the cherry Morlasco, those are big flavors. Those are big, thick things. So is the 151. So we want to sort of bring an element to this that is going to sort of calm some of the harsher bits of that, and also make the rest of them pop, make sort of that lemon pop. And so in that, we're going to reach down here. We're going to grab our Frank's Red Hot bottle that contains what? Simple syrup. We only need a little bit of simple syrup. Let me just pause real quick, because since I can't see you guys all that well, let me just go through, see if I'm missing anything. Okay, well, let me just welcome April. Hello, April. Good to see you. Paul is very excited about. Okay, Glenn is in the house. Thursday is thirsty, correct? It is my dad's birthday tomorrow, so if you guys want to wish him a happy birthday now would be the time. Everybody just pile on. He's also the longest deceased person buried in Arlington. Oh, I didn't know that. So Francis Marion, along with being the Swamp Fox, is the longest deceased person in Arlington. Now, let me just say, that's an odd way to put that. Was he also the first person buried in Arlington, or did they bury somebody that was alive at one point? So it's technically he wasn't the longest deceased, or was there a zombie incident at one point and our friend the Swamp Fox did not come back? Why did you phrase it that way, Doug? And I need an answer as quickly as possible. He's also the longest deceased person buried in Arlington. It makes it sound like you are sort of saving a technicality. Please let me know. Here's Low Carb Cocktail Guy. Low Carb Cocktail Guy is here and hanging out. Liquor Store was out of cherry herring, so we got Tasty Luxardo Cherry Sangre Morlasco instead. It works out since where we come from. It's the Italians who break ankles rather than the Danes. There you go. Yeah, honestly, Luxardo Cherry Morlasco, a Sangre Morlasco is spectacular. I love it. Good news all around. Susan Lang is here. Hello. Moose is here. Moose. Wondering why so early. Did I start early? I feel like I started pretty right on time. That was your great-grandfather. Who was your great-grandfather? Oh my gosh. 1 second. I got to figure out. I'm so concerned about Douglas G. He's the longest deceased person buried in this. And then I gave him my thing. And then Douglas said, no, that was my great-grandfather. Francis was your great-grandfather? Or your great-grandfather was the person they buried alive in Arlington? Oh my gosh. I need to know. Douglas, please. Please, you are not allowed to leave class today until I know exactly what you're talking about. Why did you phrase it that way? Is there somebody that's been buried longer but was buried alive? Or, let me say this. Okay, this might be what you're talking about. Did Francis Marion, the Swamp Fox, General Marion, did he die somewhere else? And it took them a long time to bury him? Maybe this is what it is. Maybe he died, they buried him somewhere else, and then they desecrated his grave, pulled up this American hero, moved him to Arlington and buried him there, even though he wasn't the first person buried there. Maybe that's what happened. I don't know. But the way that Doug wrote that makes me feel like there is something else going on. Okay. I've really screwed this up. Okay, great. Yes, happy birthday all around. Like I said, I cannot put those birthday wishes up. Okay. What do we got next? Oh, simple syrup. Did I put the simple syrup in? I must have, because I put it all away, right? Can somebody rewind? Did I put the simple syrup in? Dang it. I think I did. You know what? Never hurts to put a little more simple syrup in. Put in half an ounce of simple syrup. That doesn't look familiar, what I just did. Doesn't look familiar. Maybe I forgot it. Okay. This is the cocktail, guys. We are set and ready to give this a shake. Nice big shake. Lots of ice, obviously. What do I always say? Lots and lots of ice, guys. Don't worry about ice. Make sure you have plenty of ice at all times. More ice in the shaker, the better your drink's going to be. The less watery, the more cold. Here we go. Big old shake. 1, 2, 3. All right, we're serving this over 1 cube. Put this off to the side. Grab our ice. Ice is just a little bit too big. Okay, 1 second. It was originally buried on the family farm. Okay, there we go. And was re-interned when they developed an area. My 7th great grandfather was colonel in the Revolution and is the longest deceased person in Arlington. Oh, it wasn't our guy. It wasn't Marion that was there. I got to go through all of Doug's stuff now. Cheers. 1 second. I just got to find Doug's stuff. My 7th great grandfather was a colonel in the Revolutionary War under General Washington. Never mind. Okay, so scratch that. The fox, the swamp fox, was not the longest deceased person. It was Doug's people. That's what happens when I can't see the chat. I get lost in the stories anyway, but now especially, it's tough. Go ahead and slice a little bit of ice. I think the ice sliced well. Throw you in there, please. Thank you. And grab our glass. Looking really good. Got a real nice clear piece of ice going in here. And we are going to pour her in. I will say that one thing that I really like about this cocktail is the color. I think that cocktails should all be this color. We should just strive to say all cocktails should be right around this color. A couple shades more brown, maybe a shade more red will work out, but I think they should all be right around this color. It is a perfect cocktail color. I don't normally do this, but there was a sale on blackberries today, so I figured I would throw a blackberry on here as a garnish, just for a little hoopla. I don't normally spend money just to spend money to put 2 blackberries on here, but I'm eating all these blackberries tonight, so pretty excited about that. Give the blackberries a spin. Pretty good. All right. So, this is the ankle breaker. A man so feared by the British Army, the biggest army in the world at that point, that they gave him the name, the Swamp Fox, a guy that struck hearts into those red coats. Wait, let me do that again. A guy that struck fear into the hearts of those filthy red coats that were coming to try and tax us when we didn't want to be taxed. We don't want any taxes, we said. We will throw the freaking tea right into the freaking harbor right now because we're not taking taxes. This guy said, you know what? It's on me, boys. I will start to kill these guys so that we don't have to get taxed. A guy so fearsome that he created guerrilla warfare was so afraid of this cocktail that he jumped out of a second-story window and broke his ankle. Thus, we have the name, the Ankle Breaker. That's it. It's a great cocktail, 3 ingredients, plus a little bit of simple syrup. You don't need it, but it's nice to have. Cheers to all of you, and to the Ankle Breaker, and to the Swamp Fox for the good stuff you did. We're not cheersing to everything that you did, okay, pal? We're not even going to get into some of the bad stuff he did, but to the good stuff. Everybody's good and bad. Cheers. Oh. Oh. Listen. I would train, if I could, to jump from the first floor to the second floor in order to get this cocktail. If this cocktail required that I meet, what's her name? From Misery. That I had to meet that woman from Misery, and every time I drank this, she had to put me in the hobbler, I would have to think about that long and hard. I might go through the hobbler just to drink this drink. This is a fantastic cocktail. It really only works with 151 proof or some high proof rum. So make sure you're doing the high proof rum. Don't just double another rum. It doesn't work like that. You can't just double another rum because then it's going to be too rummy. You want that burn from the booze to be in there without it becoming like a big fat rum drink. You want it to just have a lot of like heat and fire. It should strike hearts. Why do I keep saying strike hearts? I got to think about that. Honestly, I'm going to sit myself in a corner and think about that. It should strike fear into the hearts of all of your enemies, so much so that you make them jump out of a second-story window, break their own little ankles. The Ankle Breaker. Freaking love it. Honestly, I did not think this was going to be one of my favorites when I made it, and it is one of my favorites. Yes. Annie. Thank you, everybody. Oh, I keep trying to put the freaking things on the thing, and then I keep trying to put your comments onto the screen so that I can interact with them, and then it tells me that you're not allowed to do that in this program. I'm using YouTube, and YouTube won't let me interact with you guys. Don't blame it on me. Blame it on freaking YouTube. Okay. Yes, it was Kathy Bates. Correct. Yeah, Kathy Bates was the name I couldn't think of. Let me see if I can't do that thing one more time. If every time I was going to drink this cocktail, I had to get into a bed and have Kathy Bates be my nurse and put that block in between my ankles and then smash my ankles, break them, give me the hobbler, I would have to think about it for a second. I would have to think, I really like the drink, but I really don't want to be hobbled at this moment. I have a lot going on. But it would be a thought. The drink is that good. Okay. Let me do this real quick. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and comment and share and hit the little bell button. And then when you scrolls down, you push the all situation. And then every time I go live, which is Tuesdays and Thursdays and Saturdays, it'll give you a little ding, bing, in your pocket. And you'll say, oh, that's that Kush ding. It is time for Kush to go to do his little work, and I will be there to watch it with all of my friends and all of the people that also like this show. So like, subscribe, and share, and comment, and hit the bell. That is what I got for you. Let me play the music. It goes like this. Do 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 do. I have to do that for editing. Anyway. Okay, we're having some problems watching Misery. I thought Misery was a great movie, but yeah, it's tough to watch a second time, especially that part. Especially that part. They really, I had to do this one time so that I could watch that part. Otherwise, I close my eyes. I have no ability for gore. I can't watch a shot. I will give you. Let me tell you guys what I did. I think it was last year, very recently. I was doing some blood tests. I'm oldish. I'm in my 40s. You got to do blood tests all the time at this point. I was doing a blood test, and the phlebotomist, is that the right word? the blood taker, said, "Oh, wow, you bleed so fast." And I went like this. I go, "What?" I looked down at my arm. I saw the blood coming out of it, and I passed out. I do not care for gore. Anyway, I had to do this to watch it, and they really do show breaking ankles. That's a really, really tough shot. Another shot that I've never seen, or a shot that I've never seen, is the curb stomp in American History X. Never seen it. I do this all the time, just constantly. I cannot watch that stuff. Um, that scene and the Godfather's hand stab. Yeah, hand stab's a tough one. Doesn't look like low carb cherry hearing would be that hard to make. Okay, well, guys, honestly, if you like me, but hate carbs, I highly recommend the low carb cocktail guy. Pop on over if you can make. Honestly, low carb cocktail guy, if you can make a healthier ankle breaker, I think that's spectacular. That's science. Thing exclamation. Yeah, science. I think that's science. A low carb ankle breaker, one of the greatest. Yeah. Yes, we will all be lurking and watching. Sean Panda Baker says, "Cool, Frank. I'll be lurking, watching." It was rewarding when James Caan smashed a typewriter on her head. I agree. I agree. Kathy Bates was so. I mean, she is still so great, but man, was she good in that role. She was so creepy. I think about her often when she talks about the cliffhangers when the car goes over. She's like, "Ah, and I went to go see the movie, and at the end of the movie, the car went over, and then the next movie, the car didn't go over, and she got very upset with that." And I thought, "Oh God, if I keep up this, I'm going to smash somebody's ankles one day." So I've had to check myself a few times. Um, yes, it called the ankle sprain. I think that's a good one. I have the production accountant for American History X. I paid for that fake skull. Oh, Paul. Sorry, Paul was the production accountant on American History X, and he paid for that fake skull. Doesn't mean I'm going to watch it, Paul. Cannot watch it. The moment that the teeth touch the curb, I stop. Just like that. I can't watch it. I am a big old wimp. Okay. 1 second. The poor guy at the bar getting his hand stabbed. Yeah, listen. I can't watch any of it. Okay. We've done it. One of my favorite cocktails. This Saturday is the Accent Show. I will be doing an entire show in an Irish accent, which I cannot do. Like I said, it will end up being either, it goes one of two ways. It either goes into like an East Indian accent or like a Pakistani accent. I will absolutely end up there at one point, or it goes full pirate. But I will start off the show doing an Irish accent, and I will try and do it the entire way through while explaining the drinks. We will be making Irish drinks using some Irish whiskey. I also promised you guys that we would make baby Guinnesses using a gift that I received. We'll go through the whole thing, but very excited about that. So Irish drinks this Saturday, full Irish accent. And then on the next Tiki Tuesday, we will do a 151 proof rum battle box. I think that I will be making them into daiquiris, but I think it might be more fun just to not make them out of daiquiri, not make them daiquiris and just drink them straight. I think that could be at least a fun show to watch me recoil in horror constantly. So we will have a battle box of 151s, and we will decide which rum reigns supreme, and we will strike hearts in the fears of something. We've done it. Okay. That's what I got for you guys. Awesome, Paul. That is one of my favorite movies. American History X is one of your favorite movies? It's a tough movie. I think I've watched it 5 or 6 times. And Stacy Keach. Keach. It has to be Stacy Keach. There's no way his name is Stacy Keach, right? Now that I'm thinking about it, Stacy Keach is amazing in that. I mean, that dude, that is tough. That's a movie. You know, the big thing right now is where actors come out and they say like, "Oh, we improvised this part. Oh, we just improvised all of this." We listen to that Office Ladies podcast. My producer and I, we watch The Office a lot, and now they have a whole podcast. And every scene is like, "Did you improvise that? Did you improvise that?" The one, or at least one of the movies that you do not want to say I improvised was American History X. Just walk in and say, honestly, I read it just like it was supposed to be read, and I am not the racist. I personally am not a crazy, I don't have crazy Nazi thoughts in my head all the time. I did not improvise that line. Do not, I think the lesson is don't ask Stacy Keach if he improvised anything about it. Okay, did I ever get this back? I did not. Okay. That's what I have for you guys. Until next time, why don't we just say this? And then maybe.
I'm in danger.
Oh, shots fired. Oh.
And then maybe
Wow.
And then we will end with one of these.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.